Welcome to the future of understanding. This is Neuromind Insights, where we unlock the power of your mind.
Freetown is home to 1 million people, famous for its beautiful beaches and vibrant coastal trade. But right below that surface, a severe economic crisis is pushing the population into deep, inescapable poverty. Walk the streets today, and you will find thousands of young people trapped in a trance-like state. They stand perfectly still, locked in a gravity-defying slump, completely disconnected from the world around them. They are paralyzed by Kush. It is a cheap cocktail of dried leaves sprayed with synthetic chemicals, and in just 3 years, it has taken over the city. The demand is so high that local communities are now forming vigilante groups to patrol the Freetown cemeteries, entirely to guard the dead from grave robbers. These patrols are fighting a systemic problem. In one location alone, over 1,000 resting places have been broken into and destroyed. Sierra Leone is facing a macabre supply chain emergency. The dead are literally being exhumed and harvested to feed the chemical addictions of the living. To understand why anyone would dig up a grave to get high, we have to break down the recipe for Kush. It starts with a base of ordinary dried leaves acting as a sponge for cheap, easily accessible chemicals. Chemical analysis frequently turns up commercial synthetic opioids. Dealers are crushing up pain medications like tramadol and adding them to the mixture. To guarantee dependence, dealers lace the product with much stronger narcotics like fentanyl. But the recipe is constantly changing. Dr. Ju Matia at the country's National Mental Health Hospital tracks these ingredients, and his team identified a recent addition: ground human bones. To understand why ground bone is being added, we have to look at the chemistry. Human bone contains a high natural concentration of sulfur. When a user inhales the smoke, that sulfur travels to the brain, which amplifies the chemical high of the opioids. Using human remains is a calculated, desperate biochemical innovation engineered to maximize an artificial escape. The people of Freetown desperately want that escape. At just 20 pence a joint, Kush offers a cheap, temporary release from the reality of crushing daily poverty. The drug is bought and sold completely in the open. Local street dealers know the product destroys families, but they justify the trade with a blunt economic reality. Legitimate jobs simply do not exist. For the thousands of users living on Freetown's rubbish tip, the drug consumes everything. 25-year-old Abu Bakr once dreamed of winning a Grammy. Now, kicked out by his family, he scrounges the massive dump for scraps to sell, just to afford his next hit. Another user, 22-year-old Al-Haji, wanted to be a medical student. He tried a single joint given to him by a friend 2 years ago, and today that entire ambition has been erased by addiction. Extreme poverty has forged a vicious, unbreakable economic feedback loop. Selling the drug is the only accessible way to earn money, and smoking it is the only way to endure the reality of having none. The damage is already passing to the next generation. At local charities, you can find 6-week-old babies like Emmanuel, born suffering from physical withdrawal tremors because of his mother's addiction. Emmanuel's mother, Hadiatu, wanted to be a lawyer. Instead, a family breakdown left her homeless, and Kush derailed her entire life. This chart shows the impact on the country's medical infrastructure. At Freetown's only psychiatric hospital, 85% of all patients are currently being treated for Kush addiction. The drug systematically targets and incapacitates the exact demographic required to rebuild the nation. The young people currently sleeping on the streets are the future doctors, engineers, and lawyers Sierra Leone needs to survive. Slow, serious bones and raided graves are the results of a generation backed into a corner. When the choice is between the daily weight of poverty or a 20-pence illusion, Sierra Leone's future is being traded for a hit that lasts just a few hours.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Neuromind Insights for more.